Right now, though, it's our honor and privilege to welcome the defensive coordinator of the Horned Frogs. If you would, welcome Joe Gillespie to the show. Joe, come on out, my man.
Hey,
how are you?
Great to see you, Brian. Great to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, this is the den. So whatever you need, you just hang out. If you need to come by and just relax a little bit after practice.
Absolutely, we can get that done.
Yeah, Coach Dykes wouldn't care, would he?
No, he's pretty flexible.
Yeah, okay,
I
good.
think he'd allow that.
Let's start with all the niceties. Welcome. I mean, I know it's a kind of a coming back home for you.
Yes, sir.
You've been at Tulsa, but your roots were here, just
Yes, sir.
down the road in Stephenville. How important was it for you to get home, essentially?
Well, that was obviously big for me and my family. And, being a native Texan and growing up here and essentially, Fort Worth kind of being our home. Stephenville just about an hour southwest of here. And, anytime that you wanted to go out in Stephenville, you had to come over into Fort Worth. Mm-hmm. And so my wife and I spent a great deal of time over here. And so, understanding the areas and stuff like that. And then, obviously our two oldest kids graduated from Stephenville High School. Our youngest kid went with us to Tulsa. He's a little bit younger than the older two. And now he's in high school. He understands Texas high school football, which is huge to him. And then obviously just getting into the Big 12, getting at a university such as TCU and having this opportunity, shucks, God's been good to me.
Yeah, I'd say your son understands high school football a little bit in the state of Texas. He's at Alito. We'll talk about that later on. But Joe, let's dive right into your history, just so folks get a feel for it. You were at Stephenville. We talked about that. You were an assistant coach for a while there. There's some great tutors, some terrific men who I know meant a lot to you over the years. And then you got a chance to be the head coach there.
Yes, sir.
Give us some sense. So people talk about pressure. The pressure in Stephenville is pretty big because of the history, right?
Yeah, exactly. And thankful to the guys that I got to play for and coach with, and they set a standard at Stephenville that was extremely high.
Right.
And so, anything less than a state championship, so to speak, was almost a disappointment. Mm-hmm. And but I would much rather have that at a place like that than a place that's not involved. And so they're overzealous about their football and about their youth and their kids and athletics in general. It was a huge blessing. I grew up in Stephenville. Graduated from Stephenville High School. My first coaching job was at Kennedale, mm-hmm. Here in just South Arlington. After 1 year, I went back to Stephenville and as the D-line coach, and really went with the plan of staying 2 to 3 years. I was just going to try to get that on my notch, so to speak, on the resume, and ended up staying 20, and just was a great place to my family. And spent the last 7 or 8 years as the AD and head football coach. And yeah, it was a great place to be, a fun place to coach, fun place to raise kids. Enjoyed every single day of going to work.
And you got a state championship too.
Yes, sir.
Which you talked about. That's kind of the ultimate game plan there,
yes,
at Stephenville. Give us some sense of what that's like. I mean, at a place where it is so important to get that, to finally earn that state title. I mean, that's got to be a memory you carry with you forever.
Oh, absolutely. And every season has its own kind of chapter and identity, and man, you fall in love with these kids and their parents, and I have been there long enough, unfortunately, that I was beginning to coach kids.
Yes, right.
Guys that I've been coaching when I first got there, now their kids are coming through. And just having that relationship, but to sit there and win a state championship, what Texas high school football is, and to win a state championship at that level and stuff, it's a hard to replace.
When we talked to folks at Tulsa, the one quote that came back on Joe Gillespie was that he's all in.
Yes, sir.
That he's all in. How difficult does that make it when you have to leave Tulsa to come to TCU?
Well, and it gets difficult in a lot of things, because I'm going to tell you, my whole family is all in, and so when we say all in, that includes, to be a coach's wife takes a special person, mm-hmm. and she runs a tight ship in a good home and all of that business, but she's all in, and so our whole family. From our time at Stephenville through our time at Tulsa, and now we get to bring that all in here to TCU. And I told Coach Dykes, Lord willing, I hope this is my last stop God's been good to me and my family. I've been to Kennedale for 1 year, Stephenville for 20, Tulsa for 7. And I'm not getting any younger.
There you go.
So I'd like to keep it here.
Our boss, J.W. Wilson, is making me ask this question because he wants us to get deep into X's and O's, and I've been backing him off of this.
Yeah.
All right, so you're kind of a 3-3-5 guy.
Yes, sir.
So we'll see the defense change. Give folks an idea of what that means. When we say the defense at TCU is going to change, give us a sense of what that is.
So what they've been more accustomed to is more of a 4-2-5 look.
Right.
And there's some 4-2-5 look to what we do.
Oh, yeah.
And so the thing that we've done is we've taken a 3-3-5, and it's not anything new. We didn't invent something that nobody's ever done. We've just kind of made it an every down defense. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of people, I used it forever as a third down defense. Mm-hmm. And so kind of dumbed into it just a little bit by happenstance when I was up north. There was a few people kind of dabbling in it just a little bit.
The guy that I saw, Rocky Long, was doing the 3-3-5. Maybe that was one of the early ones that I remember.
Yep, that is.
Out in New Mexico.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And so it's been around.
Yeah.
And people
but
have
more
done
people
it
are
before.
playing it now. We're seeing it in this league in the Big 12 a lot more, aren't we?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You know, and we got to play some Big 12 opponents when I was up north, obviously now, and you know, we fared very well with it and stuff. And so, you know, it's one of those defenses with the way offenses are nowadays, with the way that they spread you sideline to sideline with the multiple looks and things of that nature. It really kind of dictates defenses. Mm-hmm. And so what we wanted to do was get into a defense where the offense doesn't necessarily dictate to us what we have to do. And so that allows us to do a lot of different things. And so we sit there and we say the base of it is a 3-3-5. So we got 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and we've got 5 DBs back there that are all very interchangeable. Mm-hmm. And so that 3-3-5 can turn into a 3-4 in a quick hurry.
Right.
That 3-3-5 can also turn into a 4-2-5 in a quick hurry, and you're just not making any personnel substitutions with it. So that's what we wanted to do was get into a defense where we can give multiple looks, because you're going to get multiple looks offensively. Mm-hmm. You know, they're going to give you 12 personnel, they're going to give you heavy personnel, they're going to spread you out, they're going to empty the formation, and they can do all of that with their same personnel on the field. Yeah. Well, why can we not do all of the same thing with the same personnel on the field as well?
See, when you start talking that 12 personnel, 28, that just gets. I'm telling you, and JW's in the back just going crazy right now. He's ready to go. Right. Hey, you mentioned the 2 older kiddos. You got one in high school, so this is home now.
Yes, sir.
They're adjusted okay. The young one is still at home, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And you got a grandbaby?
Got 2 grandbabies.
2 grandbabies.
I had a grandson named Emerson he's 3 years old, and a granddaughter named Ayla. She's a year and a half.
I love it. Give me the best thing so far about TCU.
The best thing so far.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you the thing that immediately stood out was just the people. Mm-hmm. And I know that's a little bit cliche, but walking around and just talking to people when I first got here, obviously trying to learn people's names.
Right.
And trying to get in the know with everybody. But also one of the questions that I asked was, how long have you been here? Mm-hmm. And you hear so much about, well, I've been here, this is my 19th year.
Right.
I've been here for the last 21. I've been here for the last 12. And man, it just kept going down the line. Yeah. And it sat there and it made you go, that's what I thought about TCU. Mm-hmm. That's what I thought about Fort Worth. That's what you think when, you know, people don't want to leave here and the university doesn't want them to leave. Yeah. And that's when you know you're at a special place.
Well, we hope you're here a long time, man.
Likewise, my man.
All right, thanks for coming in here.
Appreciate you.
Joe Gillespie, the defensive coordinator of the Horned Frogs, joining us here on Frogs Today.